Take two. Happy New Year to everyone in Australia. This is my living room in Canada. The kids and the wife just left. So this was the time that I was going to do a handstand challenge. Crazy as it sounds, 365 days of a handstand. And it begins here on the floor, which is a good place to do any of your whole body training stuff. I'm looking disheveled and sort of fully grown, but I'm extremely mobile and healthy at the moment, which is a great place to be. I've been focusing a lot on movement capacities, movement modalities. I've played with archery, I've played with contemporary dance, I've played with gymnastics, I've played with parkour in the park. All of my training has been outdoors exclusively, no weights. Whatever I find is what I use, and I find that once you start getting in the zone of being able to do that for your body, then your fitness takes on a whole new dimension. But I'll share more of that with you in 2021, in your 2021, when I get there. Right now, it's going to be handstands, 365 days towards a handstand. Now, how this ought to work, or how it should work, is that each day I'll post the progression. And as I feel more comfortable in the progression, and as you feel more comfortable with the progressions, we will keep jacking it up until eventually we're in a handstand. I don't expect much more than a few minutes every day dedicated to this. It might be at the tail end of something you're doing, or it'll be first thing you do in the morning, last thing at night, just after lunch somewhere or whatever. It'll metastasize and become something else along the way, I'm sure. But effectively, the handstand is going to start on the floor. Pretty simply, this would be your basic starting place. Staying like this and feeling the pressure on your wrists for a minute, and that should feel comfortable. If that were comfortable for you, then the next development, I guess, next development would be to straighten the legs out and to form this shape. Making sure that you don't arch your body, that you don't go too high with the body, that somehow between your shoulders, hips and ankles you form something of a straight line. We have to round our shoulders out, actually have to squeeze our bum really tight, pull and squeeze the ankles together. Now once your abs are locked on and your core, your shoulders are round, your butt is squeezed, and your ankles are tight, then you hit your timer and stay there for a minute. And I recommend anything between sort of one round of 1 minute to three rounds of 1 minute. That's what we want to get to. We want to extend that actually. We want to make that, one round of 3 minutes, if that were possible. It certainly is possible. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm basically going to do one round of 1 minute for the first day of 365 days to invert ourselves into a handstand. If you do this literally every day, if you did something towards a handstand every day, we would effectively be working our entire body through many of its ranges and most of its capacity. So strength-wise for upper body, wrist bearing, so on, balance awareness, core strength particularly. I mean, we're not obviously doing any cardiovascular work, but that would get us to handstand eventually. So let's begin. Let's just do one 1 minute round. As a happy new year to you all. And I will share more of the training practice in the park and outside and so on as the months progress. It's been an interesting period for me, very challenging, actually I have to say, emotionally, personally, financially. It's a challenging time, and I'm sure it's for everyone. All right, so let's try to make the shape. I'm going to make this 1 minute and say like 8 seconds just to get myself into the minute pose, and then to stay there. So if you want to join me on the floor, just give yourselves a light wrist stretch. But we're going to be in a static hold for 1 minute or up to 1 minute. If you don't hold it for a full minute, you have to drop out. Totally cool. Do it. Mark the time that you stayed. If it was 30 seconds, tomorrow will be 35 seconds, and so on. All right, let's go. Counting down. Hands are out front of our body. Feet joined together, and you make something of a straight line from your hands from your shoulders to your ankles, and we're away. that's it. I'm not going to worry about telling you about hand positioning or where your hands should be in relation to your shoulders or anything else, where you should look. We'll deal with all of that down the way. We've got 30 seconds left for our first minute round. And I thought I might do a shout out actually to my gym friends out there. I have Yolanda in mind to start with. She'd be a great resource. I remember her doing some of the finest one-handed handstands I've ever seen as a gymnast. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Cool. Well, that should have felt like a bit of a challenge. You would have felt an increase in your temperature. Maybe you didn't even make it to a minute. Give your wrists a stretch. Maybe it was challenging enough. But that's it. That's where we start. We start. A scaled back version would be doing the same thing on your hands and knees. An alternate version might be starting with straight legs until you get tired, dropping them down to finish off for the minute. Paying attention to your body and where it hurts and where it doesn't hurt. And as we go, we'll pay attention to the structure and shape of our body to make sure that it's going to be able to sustain the handstand. Okay, well, I'll do one more to do two. I'm going to do three, so might as well film both. Let's go. We had a good rest. 5 seconds into our front support shape. And we're away. So I'm squeezing my bum. I'm squeezing my ankles together. The squeezing of my tush helps me pull in my abdomen. It helps my core engage, which is great. Just going to concentrate on breathing through this tension, this static hold, which is what we would call a front support. Five, 4, 3, 2, relax. Okay, well that's two. I'll leave it there with you for this video, and I hope to see you or tomorrow. Check in, leave a comment, tell me that you've done it. You don't have to send me a video, you can if you want. Just leave a comment that you've done your 3 minute or up to 3 minutes of 3 instances of front support hold. So, 3 30 seconds to a minute, maybe the kneeling to front support combination, or 3 front support ones. You don't have to send me videos of that or photos of that. You can just take a mugshot of yourself with a thumbs up telling me you've done it and that day one is kicked off for you. But I'm going to try and do this for 365 days of the year, something of a personal commitment, and we'll see where that leads. I haven't done a full handstand for a while, though I know that I can, but I'd like to just be able to have the confidence to know that it's a skill that's available to me. And we'll talk more about the history of handstand and where it fits in the idea of natural movement, for example, or doesn't fit, or is it complex. But I'm going to do one more here, one minute round. I'm going to sign off and say it's good to see you, although I can't see you, but it's good to see you. Happy New Year from me in Canada, and I'll check in with you guys on a daily basis from here on in. I'll post this in my personal page as well, and I'm moving things over to YouTube, I think, as a platform this year. So, but all that's down the track, and I'll tell you more about that later. All right, guys, take care, and I will touch base again later. Bye now.